Whoa. We got our chip vans out. Now we'll fire the old Barkle up. This thing just starts like a dream. Like a dream. You don't get much better than that. Welcome back. It's just beautiful out. We got all our wood chip for today, and now it's just the slowdown time. I mean, I need to do some little bits of stuff to the chipper, not nothing extreme, and I need to slash some more logs. We got a good pile going back there, and I'd like to add to it if I get some time. But right now, I was showing you how I got set up. Gary set me up. He doesn't even know it yet. But today it's been like, it's in the 40s. The sun come out for like the second day in a row for like the first time in like 10 years. So it's like, just look at it, it's just beautiful out. And melted some snow. I mean, it was gorgeous this morning out here. But now it doesn't look so gorgeous because the snow's gone off all the trees. But I'll tell you what, this is the perfect working weather right here. Perfect working weather. So, Gary's out cutting in that front corner, right by the road. Right by the two-track, where the two-track meets the road, there's a section in there. And he got all the blowdown out of there, picked through it, and now he's cutting all the standing stuff in there. So he's got to the gravy patch finally. He cut his nasty stuff out of the way. Oh, son of a gun. Would you look at that? Yep. So, this has not impressed me at all. This chain is just not impressed me. So we welded that there. That held. But this here didn't. So, yep, that belongs there. And if we don't get it fixed, it's going to get us in a pickle. Big time. So we got to get that fixed. That's a mess. That's not even what I'm talking about. I just come out here and then you got that right there and then you got that there. So what had happened today was, well, yesterday, Gary come up at the end of the day and was helping me out. And he put the old saw head up here and dug some garbage out of the way. Because you get garbage in this one like 10 times more than the new one because you got the separator. And in the new chipper, the separator just drops the garbage down, and then you got augers that push it all the way back to the conveyor and then out the conveyor, so you don't deal with any of this stuff here. Well, Gary figured he'd help me out, and he was helping me out. And then he tried to get one more and got up in there right here and ripped one of my hoses. So, which isn't the end of the world, but so we had hose and we had fittings and we did all that, and he tried to made a new hose. That's what we did. This one right here. I'm sorry, I apologize. This one. So we made a new hose, which I don't like that connection at all. That's a whole nother mess, but that wasn't done by anybody here. So we made a new hose, and then I got through a few loads today, and it was working great. Then my conveyor quit working, and I go in reverse, and it wasn't like clogged up, so I knew we had troubles. And then I looked in my little eye, seen from up there what was going on down here. So what had happened was it blew the end off from that hose. It blew the end off, and I was in trouble. So we got her situated, and I jumped out and shut everything off. And then we got, that was the actual hose, the original hose, and I just cut the last foot off it and replaced it. So I just cut a foot off it actually and just put a new end on it because that hose is way too long anyways. So it worked out. But last night, what had happened was I was slashing So I was back there and Gary started working on it. And yeah, this is what happened. Yep. And this one held, but that one didn't. And here's the problem is, let me show you what the problem is and how much fun it is trying to, I've explained this before, how much fun it is trying to keep track of all these fittings. So the issue is, like, this is a 3/4 fitting and this is a 3/4 fitting. They're both for a 3/4 hose, but one's like a 2-wire and one's like a 4-wire. So, I mean, even this one is a 3/4 JIC male, and you have 2 different sizes. So, I mean, you're constantly fighting that, and it depends on what hose you have, whether it's 4-wire or 2-wire. And so what had happened last night, that one didn't go on like Gary had wanted. I crimped it, so I'll take responsibility too. And I should have double checked, but I didn't. Therefore, it shut us down for about 20 minutes. So I seen what had happened. Come in here, made up the new hose, took it out there, and then put her back together. But about 20 minutes is what had happened. But what I like is there's all different kinds of hoses, and you guys have kind of mentioned the difference. You got Gates and all your different stuff, but this hose here is by far my favorite to date. Now, they're constantly, the problem is, that's 2,400 PSI. That ain't no good. Here's the thing, too. This is like a 2-wire hose, which 2,400 PSI, it ain't going to do us any good. As I'm just sitting here explaining it to you. We're finding all kinds of stuff out of this video. It's like that hose there is rated for 5,000 PSI. See? So, it's like I really like this stuff. This stuff, that ain't going to do us any good because I'm running over 2,400 PSI on everything on there for 1 inch. And even that track machine, we've been working on the Tiger Cat quite a bit. And even that machine, 5,000, 4,800 PSI isn't anything, is normal. So if you try to put something that's a really small gauge wire, low PSI, it ain't gonna do us any good. So that's where I'm getting at. The fun of dealing with all of it is, and it's not like any one person's fault, like the person ordering or something. Sometimes they don't have what we need, and sometimes you get whatever they got, but it's not like it's anybody's fault. But this stuff here, if you look, it says B2 on there, and it actually tells you the fittings. So if you come over here to the 1/2 inch, that's 3/4. That's totally in the wrong area. One's up here. We'll get it sorted out. Somebody's setting this up. That's another. Why are we getting 5/8? It's 5/8 stuff there. But you don't have any 5/8 hose. So, leftovers. But anyways, if you get up in here and get to this, and this is wore off. But that right there is a B2. Find another one. See the B2 on there right there? So that hose is made for that fit. That fitting's made for that hose. Snazzy, eh? And it's amazing they slide right on like they're supposed to, where last night we're beating the beans out of her to get her to take, and then it doesn't take. Which is why we have a wood. This is why we keep it wood right here, because you're constantly smacking it. Smacking stuff on there. So, it becomes a big hassle when you're dealing with like a 1/2 inch, you got a 1/4, and you got, that's 3/8, and that's my 3/4. Just keeping the fittings for all that's fine, but then you start switching from 2-wire to 4-wire, and then you have 2-wire and 4-wire fittings. Now you need twice as many. And with this chipper, I'm running JIC fittings, I'm running pipe fittings, mostly pipe, but there is some JIC on it. And then your track machines, all your flat face stuff here, like this, and you're constantly switching. So, and then you start running in different gauge wires, and then your thicknesses change. And even the new chipper, that's got some 3/4 stuff and 1 inch. That's got 1 inch stuff that's running 6,000 psi, I think, hose on there, and that's a 6-wire hose, which we can't even make, which we don't have the stuff for that. So fittings are always fun, but the Gear Bear got me today. So I cut that chunk off. That's what was bad. So I just cut the little piece off, and away we went. But yeah, that didn't work out like we had planned. So you got to clean up the tools and put them away, and then I'd like to get some slashing done. So we'll see what happens. But it's just gorgeous out today. I mean, my goodness, it doesn't get no better than this. But the fitting struggle's real. Kind of like the flail rod struggle's real. There's about twice as much over there on the chipper, but it was all under snow and ice yesterday. Where today it's all nice and ready to go, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. We're constantly hoses and fittings are always fun to deal with, fun to work on. So we'll catch you guys later, and always, and you gals later. You know, a couple of you out there watching, just keep rolling. Even if you got the fittings you need, or you don't got the fittings you need, you know what I mean?